wish I had been, but we've been hard at work in the house today. Got us a little end table built for by the lizard and the mice tank. They're doing good. Gonna probably put some of the storage, like art supplies there, but we'll figure that part out later. Right now decided, oh shit, it's already 5 o'clock. Almost 6 o'clock. I need to do the morning wake up stream. My people be missing me. And, while nobody will be here probably for a while, I get it. Either way, I hope y'all are doing good today. It is good to have you here if you're here in person. Nobody here yet, no surprise. But it's also good to have you folks in the good future here. And I also uploaded a little bitty short. Like I said, we're still working on all that stuff. Eventually we'll get that going real good. But for now, we're just working on our itty bitty little base here. We're going to try to build around and build up and make it safe and effective as a functioning base. Part of that's going to also be installing like farms and the like. I don't know why I was doing it so slow. I think this would be the easiest way to do it. It's like that. Select them on there. Gotta go make some stairs. But first, this way we can get some good building done too. But yeah, y'all, it's been a pretty busy but productive day for me here. I hope yours has also been productive. Hopefully slightly less busy, just on a personal level. You know, rest is important. I need to toss the boat out. Anyway. I really hate the fact that they are not hurt by sunlight. That's super not cool. Do I have space for the wood? Yes, I do. And yeah, y'all, once I beat one of the other games we've got, I will go about trying other games. I still have the forest, but I need to figure out a way to set it to where, I mean, I don't know, are tits really that bad? It's not like there's dong in the game and that you don't see, and I've pretty extensively checked, I don't think there's any way to oopsie vag in it, so there is nudity, but it's like Nat Geo level nudity. The Forest is one of those games, I like it. It's a survival horror game, and I like it based on that. But, to be clear, if it weren't, like, clearly expressed to be a work of fiction, it would be kinda a little bit racist, it feel like. This is where I need to go with it. I need to make one more. There's that. Oh, fuck you, I heard that. Oh, good, it's just a skeleton. No, I heard the glass breaking and I thought it was one of those damned witches throwing potions. I I've really got to put some kind of railing up, 'cause that's going to get me hurt. I don't like leaving dead air either. But I was going to point out, I did set up the Ko-ffee. I did the hair reveal. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do for 200 subscribers. I'm working on the laptop. I need to install the antivirus software properly so I can use it as a primary tie-in. And genuinely, I just kind of need another streamer's help. Because I've seen everyone uses it, and is it just a Twitch exclusive thing? Because I've seen it on YouTube too, and it's not like just gamers, but lots of streamers do the whole screen and screen thing. And I dig it, and I like to do that. That way, like, you know, I get dressed for the day, I sort of come in here, I set the laptop up, I start the stream, and even when I swap between games or go to a different topic, I still got like y'all on the screen so you can see what I'm doing, you know? I don't know, I need to figure out how to do it, and I just don't know how. And a lot of these things that I keep ramming my head into full steam is because, y'all, this is completely by the seat of my pants, so to speak. I'm doing my best with no formal, like, help. Like, I just got this really pretty nail polish on my thumbs now, and I'm going to work on getting the rest of my nails painted as I can, but at least the main 3 fingernails, the thumb, the ring finger, and the traffic finger, because I find that, not ring, the pointer finger and the traffic finger, because I find that these fingers are primarily the ones I use when I do my crochet stuff, and as such, it's one of those, I want to be able to do my crochet and have y'all watch that, because I've been told that it might not be like a big audience and all that. It's not going to entertain many people, but it does entertain a few people to watch, like, crochet projects to be made. And if that's something that entertains you, well, damn, I can do that. Why not do that and entertain you good folks? It's stuff like that, you know. I'm still trying to find my niche, because y'all, I'm not a zoomer, I'm not an edgelord, and I mean, given how many terrible monsters there have been in that field, I don't really think y'all need another white middle-aged voice in this field. I think we need to back kids that are wanting to get into this. I think we need to back other folks, but outside of like digging into games and just documenting my fun, the Minecraft in these games are just meant to be sort of a fun ha-ha respite from me doing the other artwork and doing the hard talking stuff. The main reason I started doing this was it was supposed to be an easy medium to both get y'all's attention and get you to, you know, the main cause needs to be getting food planted for anyone who can find. What did y'all knock over? What did y'all jump on? Because I heard stuff collapse, I just don't see nothing. Either way, the primary goal, much like what I put on my Ko-ffee, is just, there are so many fires, y'all. We gotta get to fighting them. And no one can fight any one fire on their own. Give me a moment while I check on these goddamn children behind me. What? Mako, what are you getting into? Yes, you. You can spin around and do a little pirouette if you want to, boy. Stop it. I don't know why my cat was getting into shit, but he was attacking David's laptop cords, and it was like, it just kept sounding like he was either trying to climb on top of the thing we got the projector set up on, or he was trying to pick a fight with his siblings, and it was just like, every time I tried to talk, I mean, it was loud. I don't know if y'all heard it or not, but I heard it through the headphones, which is kind of saying something, you know? But yeah, the other thing is just trying to counteract all that toxic dude bro shit on here and be sort of a dude bro of sorts that y'all can enjoy hanging out around, someone who's going to be safe for you to hang out around. Hopefully my takes, while they might be spicy and hard, they're spicy and hot. I don't know. While my takes might be spicy, they're not coming from a place of give me $20. They're coming from a place of, if we all work together, nobody has to overexert themselves and get hurt. And again, I personally feel there's enough people drop shipping garbage that it's like, if I do something, it needs to be helpful, you know? And there's a lot of stuff out there that folks could talk about millennial-wise that isn't just nonsensical babyfication bullshit. Because, yeah, it's like how one of my co-workers, much like my father used to say, much like a bunch of people have said, well, why don't you get into politics? You seem to be up on the ball on it. You like what you're doing. It seems like you're working hard at understanding it. Why not run for office? Why not? I would love to. Unfortunately, I don't have the time. I mean, I just don't. Now, once I get to the point where I can afford to do it, then yeah, I'll give it a shot. Because, I mean, why not? It just seems like the logical step to try to do, even if I'm just helping on a campaign. But at the same time, my main goal is that takes a whole lot of time, and the house is on fire. We don't have time to arrange who's going to sit where and who's going to get which bucket when the house is on fire. Grab something, throw water on it. Grab something, put it out. We all should be actively fighting together to get these things fixed quickly before they break harder. Because I hate to tell you all this, but for everyone who's just sitting back waiting for Trump to die or waiting for the country to slowly start fixing itself, y'all, this is the best the country's going to be for the foreseeable future if we don't do anything. And if you're cool with that, then cool. Good job, Skippy. Take a break. You ain't got nothing to worry about. But if, like myself, you're going, oh my god, that's horrifying. Oh my god, that's horrifying. Holy fuck, why are my taxpayer dollars going to this? Well, it's been that way since before we got here. Our parents also thought, fuck it, we'll let the politicians handle it. Y'all, we've seen the politicians' response, and if you want the political response, well then, please give me $20. That's all the politicians care about. It's the same thing as I heard, it was the Majority Report, I want to say. Sam Cedar and Emma Bigland had a guest on. I do not remember the guest. But they had said basically, oh, well, could this be the rise of the third party? And it's like, and I get what they were saying. It was not a third right, like, dog whistle kind of thing. It was in America, we've always been a laughing stock of the world because we do not have ranked choice voting, which is what makes a two-party system functional. Because basically that means you get a group of 5, 6, 10, 50, 100. I mean, there are a couple places that do, like, outrageous numbers of candidates because certain age groups you have to run to show civic duty. So you'll get a candidate list of over 100 people sort of thing, and it's just everyone votes in order who they would like to see win. Then all those ballots go through, and in order, okay, let's say, everyone really wanted candidate B to win. Okay, well, we'll keep moving through. All candidate Bs are picked out. But candidate A, candidate B, candidate C, and candidate D all locked up equally. Okay, so then all the ballots go back through again, and we re-rank it based on, okay, well, how many votes did each candidate get? Those all come together, and you get a much more accurate idea of what your country wants. Because let's be clear, yeah, we got a fascist who's aggressively burning through the system right now, but you want to know why? Y'all, it's very simple to understand why. The Democrats have been yelling it since the beginning. It's because everybody's so exhausted, and there are so many fires, and a whole bunch of Democrats honestly thought they had this one in the bag because, y'all, did we all forget COVID? Did we forget that when Epstein first got arrested, it almost looked like he was going to get away with it? Did we forget all the bullshit? Did we forget the oil pipeline they installed and then leaked? Did we forget the time that there were protesters? Again, mix of peaceful protesters from both sides, outside of the White House, outside in a famous area. And they were just there. And because Trump wanted to cross the street to take a photo off with a Bible, he tear-gassed his own people, protesters, fucking journalists, just random-ass churchgoers, so he could cross the street with his people around him and take a picture with a Bible, which he held upside down in his hand like it was exactly what it was to him, a prop. Did we forget the FEMA body bags? The fact that there were so many kitchens that had to be shut down and used to hold dead bodies for how many corpses were popping up from COVID? Did we forget the lockdowns that caused our dipshit celebrities to try to sing to us like we want to hear the richest, most nepo bitches on earth say how happy and content they are? While most of us are sitting there going, oh shit, how are we going to afford the next meal? Well, I didn't have to worry about that because one thing about being an essential worker, our businesses never shut down, folks. Let's be clear, those CEOs and those corporations made so much money through the pandemic, and they killed so many tiny businesses. But not all the tiny businesses, because keep in mind, Trump also made sure that the Buy Back or Build Back Better plan was basically small business loans for rich people that they never had to pay back. Oh, but by the way, folks, the college debt, that's now on your credit score. Also, medical debt. For the first time in U.S. history since the Great Depression, medical debt is now on your credit score. Good news is, if anything could mean anything in this America, if your medical debt was already on your record, I don't think it's going to pop up on your credit record. But any debts going forward that you acquire, i.e. going to the emergency room for heat sickness, because currently, today in Georgia, the temperature is supposed to be 94 is the low. So if you have to go to the hospital because you overheat and almost die, or otherwise get hurt or injured, yeah, for the first time since the Great Depression, they can now put that on your credit score. So before, a single medical debt could hurt you real bad. Now, Well, now they could, in another 2 to 3 years, collude all that debt into one thing and then come after you and possibly put you in jail for fraud. If you aren't vehemently and openly telling them, singing to the roof, that I'm too poor to afford this, you shouldn't give me that medical help, I'm too poor to afford this, I can't afford it. Unless you are vehemently and openly, repeatedly saying that to them, they can get you down for fraud now. Because you're defaming a financial institution in order to get a product from them, i.e. your health care. Check out the AP article on it. The AP is the one who I got that article from. It was earlier on my Google search, because I typically just read y'all the Google news. But yeah, medical debt's now on your credit score. So everyone who's clawed and begged and fought and dug our way from abysmal credit scores to good, well, good job, buddy. Now just don't get sick or injured at all. And try not to think about the fact that all the public services that could help make you not get sick and injured are now getting torn away quickly. Because, for the record, as well as all this is happening, a lot of our rural hospitals, due to the Trump cuts across the board of Medicaid, Medicare, and all that, which you might not have noticed yet, because if you're, for example, like my coworker Alan, and you and your husband rarely actually utilize your medical thing other than getting things from your little book that they send you, and like childifying everything. Because that's the other thing that I find that they've done that's been kind of nefarious, and both sides did it. I feel like the corporations did it, and we did it to ourselves. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say that as an adult with adult money you shouldn't go purchase you a Lego set. Or, if you're like me, you go purchase, if I ever get that building urge that I can't sate with this, I'll go next door and I'll buy the little Dollar General Lego piece. It's like one base, 2 to 3 small blocks, a little dude, and it's like a one teeny tiny scene. If I want to build something, I might build that and then take it and leave it somewhere that I think a kid will find it. That way they can break it apart and make whatever out of it later. I don't glue it together or nothing. Though they could also leave it together if they want. You'll find mine's more of the, I enjoy the building, I enjoy the creation. I mean, if I could snap them all together, make a little bossing, say, in the backyard, fuck yeah. But even then, it would be, But yeah, y'all, the world's kind of a nightmare at the moment. That is why we all need to work together to try to make it less nightmarish if we can. I'm about to open this door up a bit. Well, because it behooves me with this many spawned-in enemies to be able to get a 360 view of my area. The downside is, and it will of course be, that digging in the way I have, there's a sandbar there. I'm underground, but, my roses. I'm underground, but I'm not going to make it seem as if I'm underground. And eventually we're going to build up to where the tower will be coming up and around to where you can look out and then come out. I'm working hard on this place, y'all. I'm still learning everything. But yeah, outside of that, I am very appreciative to have 107 of y'all now. Or, no, not 107. I'm getting overconfident. I have 102 of y'all. That number is going to go back to bouncing up and down for a while, which I get. Some are bots, some are people that really ain't into your shit, but they accidentally tap subscribe. Some are people that really think they're into my shit because they see like the color book or the coloring pages and all that. But then they hear my highly anti-capitalistic, let's work together, it should be about the common cause between all of us comrades. They hear that and the anarchy and they instantly, oh fuck no, and run. And again, I get it, friends. it's sort of like the difference in being a house cat and a wild cat. Cats being an opt comparison because people are fucking crazy. But yeah, y'all, it's that sort of line of it. Because truth be told, I hear people like my bosses, and I really would love to have the conversation if Liz is ever brave enough to actually be my interlocutor. Because I'm so tired of well, you just need to bootstrap it. See, I do this, I do this. Well, Liz, what if we don't have a retirement fund and a husband and kids? I almost said that rudely. I don't want to say it rudely, but when I get offended, sort of, and I don't mean offended like that, but I mean like when you have offended my honor, when you've insulted me, I sort of feel like being insulting back. So it's when I hear, oh, you're not doing enough, even though I only sleep like 4 to 5 hours a night, if that, if I can get that. The rest of the time I'm cleaning, or I'm trying to organize, or I'm trying to get a little studio built here so I can get better, more cohesive content for y'all. I'm working on finding and getting folders together so I can take better notes and actually make actual scripts for these shows. I'm always working on something, except when I literally like vapor lock out where I'm just sitting there. I'm not even enjoying it, I'm just sitting there because my brain's getting ready to break. And while I'm doing all this, to have someone go, well, I just do this. Easy solution if I have a large group of people to basically mooch off of. Because again, not that I'm mooching, but it's like, oh yeah, I feel like it is. Anyone who actually jumps on my thing right now and pays for it, it's like, I don't want that, y'all. I want to awaken people's minds to the cause, and maybe sell like the coloring book pictures and have like a nice frame put around. If I sell you something, y'all, I want to be handing you a physical thing, you know? Oh, and I swear to fuck Fizzy Cough, you better not a trademark thing. I want a thing too, but it's like, I'm very scared of the woohoo tee-hee-ification of everybody. Because, y'all, I was one of them. I was right there with Cirrus and some of the others with tee-hee-oo-woo small bean guy. But, y'all fascists are at the door. We don't get to be tee-hee small beans now. Now it's time we're the adults. We shouldn't be dropping this problem on Gen Z. Even though Gen Z, sorry, you're going to be in the trenches with us. Bring your stairs, bring whatever you got. Bring the skippities to piss off the olds. But it's us, y'all. Let's make sure Gen Alpha and Gen Beta don't have to deal with this shit. Because I think anyone who's grown up hearing this shit can agree, this is some bullshit, right, y'all? I mean, I'm a millennial. I still remember when they didn't give a single tiddly fuck about kids. Okay, they cared. They cared in the sense that if you looked at them and said, man, you don't care about your kid, they would instantly get very, very, very offended. But they didn't care in the sense of, hey, I noticed your pasture there's like kind of bullying your kid. You cool with that? Oh, they teach him about God. Yeah, but what lesson do they teach you? Are you questioning God? No, but that kid is crying and that grown-ass man is screaming in their face. And that grown-ass man with no knowledge of, like, child rearing. Like I said, we were the I was in the millennials, I guess, zillennial? Because I remember the weird acrid taste of hot water hose. I remember the shit that fucking Gen X talks about, like they're the ones who are the only ones who live through it. And no, I remember, it's part of the reason that I'm so averse to research, but I've fought through it and I'm getting better. Y'all, the reason that Gen X and those of us in my generation were so opposed to non-fun learning was because in order for me to learn and know that I knew anything, I had to go to the library, dig through a catalog, I had to get fucking information. I laughed way harder than I should have at the bit in the Owl House where Amity goes and tries to get to the card catalog and then gets horrified when some kid just pulls it open, pulls the card out, and then goes hunting. Because that's the way the libraries used to be. A good library goer would go to the card catalog, get your physical copy, and then either write down on your own piece of paper where that reference was, or would take, if you were a bad library patron, you would take that piece of paper and go find it. And then later bring that paper back because that's the only reference the library had to that document. It's like, we went from a generation where folks like me had to literally like, no, you shouldn't steal, not because you can't get away with it, but because it's wrong. To now we're in a generation where, no, you shouldn't steal because that camera's watching you. Big Brother's always watching. You're never alone. But outside of that, I mean, there was times in my youth when, yeah, we were totally, genuinely fucking alone. Like, alone. I mean, awkward adolescent moment, but who remembers the community porn stash? Like out, and I found it one day, but out in the woods one day, just walking along, minding my own business, there was a big-ass white log. I don't know if the color was a choice. I don't think it was white for that reason, gross people, but it was painted white, like somebody had come up and painted it white. But if you came up to the white painted log and opened the front of it, like a hidden library for perverts, there was a stack of swag, Fox, Nugget, Kink, Playboy. There were always Playboys and penthouses, and then just a variety that I can't say the name of because they were lewd, and they were lewd and not fucking bashful about it. And it was just, what it was all the kids would steal their fucking, all the boys, I should say, I'm guessing. But all the boys, and there were even, I guess, not just boys, because there were a few of the, that's the difference, I guess, between Gen X and millennials, is, as a millennial, our neighborhood porn stash also had Playgirl, and Farmhand, and Hard Minute Work. If any of these titles are fair watching, if any of these titles are ringing true for y'all. But it was like, it was just the neighborhood porn stash. And there was no fear of some creep just watching you, you know? It was just, everyone just swiped porno mags and put them in one place, and that was where a lot of us got our sexual awakening at, I guess. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm fucking weird for that. But I remember that being a thing. Compared to now, I mean, I genuinely couldn't imagine purchasing a pornographic magazine. I mean, OnlyFans is a thing, and you can give the money directly to the person that you're attracted to. Furthermore, other sites like OnlyFans that I don't know, because I'm not in that kind of thing yet. But, I mean, other sites can give the money directly to it, and let's be clear. Your problem with prostitution should not be, oh no, they're doing dirty things and making Jesus cry. Your problem should be the predatory nature of the pimps and the people that would coerce women or men into doing a certain dirty act or lewd act and then just tricked you and not paying them, or running off, or worse, just hurting them and saying, oh no, I deserved it because I'm a man. That kind of bullshit, you know? Because that's a whole ass thing that's why the pimps exist. The whole reason the pimps exist isn't to abuse the worker, it's to protect the worker. It's sort of like how every business owner has to deal with police, even if the black business owner knows the cops just as likely to prosecute them. You still got to deal with them because the state has the monopoly on violence. Well, in the darker neighborhoods, I guess that's a bad way to put it, in the... See, I was saying dark as in, like, story, literacy, dark. So, in the less savory, The more dangerous? Let's go with the more dangerous. In the more dangerous areas, the cops don't come out because they don't want to put their little lives at risk unless they know they can get the cause. So you end up with neighborhoods basically watching after their own shit and policing their own shit. Is it always a good thing? No. No, it isn't. Is it what these neighborhoods have to answer for these things that go on? Yeah, because I'm sorry, what else do they have? I mean, it's like what's going on in me right now that got pointed out that, oh no, we're losing even more. We might just break even from the house. I mean, yeah, but that's the cost of being good. In this country, we accepted long ago that to do the right thing, to do the good thing, instead of it rewarding you, it should cost you. It should only reward you if you do the bad thing and risk your freedom in order to, you know, cheat the system, cut a corner. I mean, hell, look at my uncle. He spent $69,000 of my money on methamphetamine and hookers and random things to try to attract those hookers. Lost taste in it when he realized that he was too fugly to actually pay for the young ladies that he wanted to date, and then realized that we were completely broke. Got into a fist fight with me and his son in the living room, got arrested, went to jail, turned his life over to Jesus because that's the cheapest way to get redemption. And now he drives cars for the church. He does not look happy, but I mean, how fucking happy would you be if you were living with a woman that constantly Captain America'd your ass and goes, language. You said a bat. He can't say ass, y'all. I mean, forget motherfucker or cunt. He can't say asshole without the woman he has chosen to bind himself to financially jumping up his ass about him making Christ upset. So yeah, either way, I'm breaking even, but at least I have the freedom to say motherfucker. And the knowledge of how to survive out there to where I don't have to latch on to someone else. But let's be clear, the bootstraps be different. Back in the day, you could just, if times got hard enough and you were put out on the streets, well, go get you a tent, and then basically go along the highway, public roads, go out into where the deep woods and thickets are, and pitch your tent at least a couple 100 feet away from the road. I mean, now you could check the maps to do that, and homeless encampments are a thing, but now you have the added fear and bonus of, well, because you're in America, if you happen to be on one of these corporations' properties, they can just roll on out and shoot your ass. So it's like, the system is rigged real hard. That's why I constantly tell some of my coworkers who fell into that trap of, I want to be a millionaire so fucking bad. Get all the things I never had. That kind of shit. The ones who fell for the, yeah, we gonna turn it up. If you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home. We all jammed to that shit. The problem is much like I think it was Kesha came up, might have been Miley, but one of them wrote the song and dropped the beat, and it was accurate on, hey y'all, it was fun, but now the party's over. People partied like we were all just gonna party forever, and that's not how that works. Yeah, we partied, we had our fun. Now, none of us got no money, and none of us can take our broke ass home because we ain't got no home either. We done gave it to the fascists. So, we need to fight to take it back. And for the record, I'm not saying fight it like fight it. I'm saying fight it like everyone get together, pool our money into communities, build communities, because that's going to be the only way we fight the corporations, y'all. Because most of the corporations have stockholders. Stockholders own other tinier corporations, and those tiny stockholding corporations, well, again, why do you think, okay, y'all, COVID wasn't that long ago, almost 8 years now. So eventually it will start to fade out of memory like 9/11. But right now, for those of you who still remember COVID and remember working through COVID, y'all, Do you know our big business daddies did not have to work a day? I mean, I never once saw any of our bosses in there. They just took, about a year-long vacation. And I know it was terrible. They were in isolation. It was boring. Yeah, your restaurant was still open, and we still had fucking drooling jackasses come rolling through every day. And each and every customer who goes to fast food for some reason thinks that, oh no, this is fast food. I'm the king here. There are 2 restaurants that advertise that way, sir. McDonald's and Burger King. It's like, we never advertise to be, oh, when you're here, you're family. No, bitch, we advertise food. Get it? But we advertise come eat, fat ass, and that's it. And maybe we need to be ultra aggressive with our advertising because, again, it's like things that other cultures take as normal, Americans see as just being downright rude. For example, if I go outside and tell a couple of customers on our pavilion, excuse me, y'all, you've been here about 4 or 5 hours. You purchased a Coca-Cola. There's no air conditioning out here or anything, so it's not like you're doing anything to help yourself. So, would you mind moving on so other customers can use that table, please? Oh my God, how dare you! I am still enjoying my beverage. It's like, okay, but you've been here for like 3 hours, and you're not even like... Again, if we were McDonald's or something, I wouldn't give a shit, because it's like, you come in, you charge your shit. Charging your shit can sometimes take hours if all you've got's the came with it cord. So totally get it. But it's like you're just sitting out in my area taking up space, buddy. And at worst, you're panhandling. You're just panhandling in the most cowardly way possible. And don't get me wrong, I'm not like downing the person who has to panhandle, because that, like I tell Liz, is when you give into capitalism and everyone gets this is what it takes to survive, what do you expect the panhandler to do? To just go quietly die? But that's more or less what some of these fucks are striking me as doing, and it annoys me because it's not... I know what they're doing. It's like feeding a stray animal of any kind. They've come to our restaurant before, and our bosses or our co-workers have basically been like, oh, I can relate to that. Here, have a free item. Because, again, I can relate to that. But instead of taking your free item, saying, thank you, mister, and wandering off, you just sit there waiting for another cookie. You just sit there waiting for another free item. Or because, like most restaurants, ours does the free refills, you take the one drink we gave you, and instead of going and coming back possibly with the same cup, whatever, you just sit there on it. And you drink our machines dry. And I'm not the owner, so I don't care. That kind of amuses me at times. But it's funny how I can check where things are going. Also, for the record, people doing that shit is why most restaurants are going to soon, mark me on this one, most restaurants are soon going to go to the point where water is free on refills. Everything else has like a 10 cents charge on the refill. Because, see, back when Americans had cents, the refills weren't really what was costing you. The syrup was cheap. It was the cups. It was the fact that so many people would want, like, every time they get a beverage, they'd want a new cup. And the cups cost like 25 cents, 10 cents, 5 cents each, but that's where it costs you. The soda costs by the gallon, so not very much. And that's why some restaurants, again, the smart ones have made it to where you can just go get free refills on water. Mostly because most restaurants never change their filter machines. Well, the filters on their machines. Because they're not allowed to. You see, as the years have gone by, and as so many people that get so far, people look at fast food work and look down on us. I don't know why. We have to keep health code standards as best we can. We have to keep And for the record, the workers are the ones keeping those standards. Upper management, they don't give a fuck. I mean, fuck's sake, upper management is the reason why some of our chicken racks will straight up grow whole-ass colonies on them before anything gets noticed, because, hey bro, don't fix it, hey bro, don't fix it, hey bro, don't fix it. Oh shit, it broke. Why did it break? Fire the employee that broke it. It's like, America has a flawed system. And the biggest flaw in that system is, for example, the people who should be running the restaurants are the managers of those restaurants, the head managers, not the owners. Because my head manager, if it were up to her, our fridge wouldn't be broken. Our freezer door would have had its hinges replaced on par for the... Our freezer door is over 40 years old, y'all. It's never had a remodel, a reboot, a reinstall. It's just now about to get its door replaced because the solid steel hinge finally gave away and broke off. But it's like, would it be as... Let's be clear, for example, like at Zaxby's, for example, they're not allowed to maintain... Okay, the reason why the machine took a tiny little machine poop, it's because, as the store manager, you're not allowed to change that filter out without maintenance express permission. And because maintenance gets paid, around $175 an hour, rough guesstimate on what I heard from one of the maintenance people, but because they get paid $175 an hour, yeah, it behooves them to make a job take a couple hours. So yeah, they'll come in and, that filter just needs to be replaced. I'm going to order you a new filter unit here with this thing here, and we're going to go ahead and get that ordered while I eat a biscuit out or a chicken sandwich out here in the parking lot. And while that gets ordered and done, I'm going to go ahead and take you off for that time. And the managers of the restaurants don't really care because they've already been chewed out because this dude had to show up. So they're just sure whatever, go ahead. And the ball just keeps rolling, and it just keeps getting shittier. I mean, hell, you want to know why Zaxby's can have a literal roach-infested wall, and by that I mean the one next to the hospital and where the Walmart is, the steakhouse, the Walmart, the two banks, the Dairy Queen, that area. Goodwill's like across from them, but down the road a little ways. That building literally had a roach-infested wall, so roach-infested that much like in Family Guy when they got rid of the roach problem, the wall's interior fell down. Because they killed the roaches, removed the goo and the crap that the roaches produced to lay their eggs in, and that lost the structural stability to the padding of the wall. My boss, at the time of the one I worked at, not that one, laughed and showed me a picture where their maintenance guy had came in, and nightmares of the restaurant industry. Maintenance dude moved the chicken station, which hadn't been moved and cleaned behind in over 6 to 8 months. And when he smacked the wall just erupted with bugs. And yeah, the boss was going, we can't let our restaurant ever get this bad. That Zaxby's has now been completely, I think they tore it down and rebuilt it. But, I mean, the pad that all the garbage sits on had gotten rotted so bad that it was a probably health code risk. I mean, the Korean restaurant down next to where I walk across at on the road, it wasn't their fault. It wasn't Larry Giant Sub's fault. It was probably, if you want to be honest, the landowner and Subway's fault. But their septic system backed up in the winter and summertime. And in the case of their kitchen, yeah, the shit pipes and the water drainage pipes to the sink are the same pipes. If their pipes freeze, you're going to end up with shit in your dishwater. So most of the places like Kebab Delight, Larry's Giant Subs, did their best to work around it because that's all they could do. In the case of Kebab Delight, they had their own little dishwashing machine they brought in and tied it into the running water out of the sink rather than the sink itself. Larry's Giant Subs, Well, if the water starts to smell foul, you just gotta rewash everything. It's... Y'all, the food service industry is a goddamn nightmare, and if you work in it for a fucking day, you will never eat out again without having a thought in your head of, so, is this gonna be what kills me? But there's reasoning behind that. And the main reason behind that is, I mean, you got health inspectors that come in, get flattered by the bosses, walk through, and they, like in the case where I work at, well, yeah, you've got livestock in the kitchen. We've got flies. We've got flies in the kitchen. They're not like, yeah, that's right, they're flies. You got flies in your kitchen. You need to get those flies out your kitchen. Okie dokie. Well, what about the rotten meat on this station? Well, rotten meat. Because as workers, you're not going to, like, sit there and go, hey, Mr. Health Inspector, hey, Mr. Health Inspector, hey, Mr. Health Inspector. You're for sake of your job, you're going to shut the fuck up and do exactly what the bosses are telling you to do. Which, in the restaurant industry, that means washing your hands a lot more than you normally do. Unless you're me. Because, y'all, I hate to tell you this, but the gloves aren't magic. You're supposed to be washing your hands every time you change gloves. Now, nobody does that. Nobody does that unless the people are watching them cook. And even then, I would argue a lot of them don't, because you got workers who sneakily giggle about it, and, like, they'll put on 3, 4, 5 pairs of gloves, trapping all that bacteria in each and every layer, and then pressing it onto each food item. But they think it's good because now they don't have to leave the line for another 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, because they can just slip one glove after the other off. I mean, y'all, it's just facts, y'all. It's just simple facts. And yes, some restaurants are changing for the better. Any restaurant that has a live streamer in it that's willing to live stream their restaurant. But here's the thing, y'all. Those live streamers are few and far between. And that typically happens during a democratic thing because the streamers are behooven to be able to do that. They know if worse come to worst, they'll be backed up by the full force of, like, hey, now you can't fire them just for being honest. You can't fire them for whistleblowing. Y'all, they can totally fire you for whistleblowing in the South, and they have done it to several people. I mean, I worked with a girl who had a mental health breakdown, almost committed suicide on the floor of the working area. And my boss's biggest concern, not my boss working the shift, their boss was, God, how could that teenage drama queen do that to us? Do that. She almost died. What do you mean, do that to us? Well, now we're short-staffed and we have to throw out all this. Well, I guess we don't have to throw out all this food. She didn't really bleed on any of the food. You're fucking crazy, and no. Sounds like somebody doesn't want to be working here much longer. That was Taco Bell. That's why I don't work at Taco Bell and will not ever work at Taco Bell. That's why if you ask me if I want to eat at Taco Bell, I kind of make gaggy noises. Because that was a good Taco Bell I'm describing here, folks. It was a good Taco Bell where I was so fucked up on Vicodin from a dental surgery that I should have still been out of work for. But, you know, my dentist had regulations he had to follow, and if I had stayed out of work another couple days, that would have made it look like there had been complications from the surgery. So, he couldn't give me those couple days. Couldn't I just explain what's going on to my boss, and my boss give me a couple days of just, hey, you're a good employee? And my boss would have, but there were already plenty of other good employees that were just skipping out, and they were kids of the boss's bosses. So, you know, Nepo. And so I was in there doing all that I could, just working in the back, and there were times that I would just straight up vomit, and I would try to hit the drainage pipes and all that, but no, sometimes it was in the sink. And yeah, I had to, because I'm a good person, throw out all that, well, not throw out, but dump the water, pull everything out, put everything back, redo what I was doing. Because, hot tip, y'all, if you drain the water out of a sink that something nasty's happened in, but you don't wash the walls, wash the ground floor, wash the drain, and wash the rim, you're just washing in that same substance. Bacteria are very good at growing in wet environments, like a kitchen sink. Like I said, the fact that we humans exist at all astounds me utterly, because the numerous things that are actively working to just... And I really do wish that there was a way to actually fix this. Oh wait, there totally is. Here's the thing, most restaurants have high-definition cameras now. It's why, for example, Aether at Zaxby's had the Big Brother fucking grazing like a cow is theft, don't steal from your fellow workers, I am watching you. Yeah, he had lots of those little freaky paranoid signs up, especially up front where the teenagers worked on the register. And yeah, y'all, it was... If you took a chicken finger, a tender off the line, you would be written up. If they caught you doing it, like, indignantly, like you didn't look ashamed about it, you could be fired on the spot. And if Aether was there, you would be fired on the spot. Not good people, y'all. I think the worst people in the world fall into food service, but it's not that... I should rephrase that, because I know a lot of good people, and hell, I'm in food service. But the upper management of food service holds some of the worst people in the world. I mean, there were active times when, and I think Zaxby's worked hard and got rid of a lot of them. But yeah, y'all, especially at places like Hooters and things like that, there are lots of just straight up predators working with your teenage kids. I mean, let's be clear, the young teens that worked with us at Zaxby's knew that when the straight white manager was working, if they wore their shirt with the collar tucked into where their cleavage showed, why, honey, he would be up there working the front of house for them, he'd be making the drinks for them, anything that let him ogle their little preteen jailbait tits. And it was just socially acceptable, it was okay. Oh, why didn't you beat his ass? Because I don't want to go to jail for assault and battery of another individual and be black marketed on my stuff. It's... Y'all, this is just how the world is. It doesn't have to be this way. We can fix it. But you want to know how it's not going to be fixed? By ignoring it. By deliberately looking the other way. I mean, I constantly hear people bitch and whine about cancel culture, but... Can anyone name me anyone that was actually canceled, and by that I mean that doesn't have a Netflix special? I mean, people guilt-tripped them. People were like, hey, you did a terrible, horrible, unspeakable thing that was also really gross and pathetic and sad. And alpha male chads don't like hearing that they've been sad. But, yeah, dude, you used your position of power to fuck that chick. That's real sad and pathetic, because that means you're so fugly and disgusting that you had to exert an extreme amount of power over another human being to force them. No. It's why I could never, like, get with someone who isn't into me. I get off on getting them off, y'all. It's genuinely, it's a thing that, and that's why I just became ace, is it's hard to find exuberant and, what's the word? It's hard to find people that are excited and not fucking, what's the word? Not prudish, not, oh no, I could never. Y'all, I want, like, vehement and excited is the word. I want vehement and excited consent with sex, not this, well, I guess we can have sex. No, honey, I guess we can't. We're good. Moving on. It's... Well, no, I want to do it. I just, you know. Then act like it. Clear signals. Adults talking. I get off on getting my partners off. It's why I've always been a good lover when I am a lover, but I am so rarely a lover. And it's kind of why I don't get into it, because believe it or not, that kind of stuff does take work. working out to keep your body fit, working out your tongue and your mouth. You know what, I might be going into too much detail for YouTube. Either way, y'all, sex should be a fun sport for both parties. And if you're just there to get yourself off, you're missing out on the whole purpose. Go get yourself a sex toy. But we're at our first hour, and this has evolved quickly. I hope y'all have enjoyed the stream. I will also take the time to remind everyone, not for kids on my channel, y'all. If I'm going to be a good example, so be it, but not here directly trying to get kids to watch my stuff. I'm genuinely concerned when kids watch my stuff, because y'all, not made for kids here. Not made for kids. Go watch SciShow. SciShow has a literal kids channel. Go check out Crash Course. Go check out the Green Brothers. But I better be more specific, because there might be a negative group called the Green Brothers now. But by that I mean Hank and John Green. One's a science guy, one's a literature guy. Spoiler alert, I like the science guy more than the literature guy. But literature guy is also cool if it's just a little dramatic. In Crash Course, you basically get a parasocial relationship with both of them for a while. But yeah, y'all, if you're a kid on my channel, go check out one of those. Because really, the biggest thing I'm concerned with is brain rot used to be a bad thing. It used to be something to be avoided. Now, if I go on here and I start just scrolling through live, I'll find human NPCs. And again, I'm not being like edgy there. I'm saying like they literally pretend to be non-playable characters with the dialogue tree. So like in Skyrim, they just skip their voice and people watch that shit. I don't get it. I mean, I genuinely don't understand what that's doing for you. I mean, maybe if you hate women and you're watching the one young lady that does body writing on here, and I won't speak until someone says I love you. And every time you tip her money, she writes whatever you want somewhere on her body. Yeah, I found her, and when I was like, what the fuck is she doing? Okay, is there something deeper going on here? Oh, okay. And then I moved on. For like weeks, YouTube was still sending me directly to her stuff, and I'm like, I don't want it. It's a kink. I mean, don't get me wrong, kink is cool, but that's just kink. That's just kink. But it's sort of like I've got my conspiracy hat on about the, what is it called? The ground news. I haven't had a chance to try them out yet, and they're not going to sponsor me because I'm not big enough. But just everybody's covering ground news and saying how awesome they are with their finders and all that, and how they admit they're biased, and that's pretty cool. And I'm not knocking any of these things. It's just every advertisement has done that. But I also remember when the ladies of Morbid, I forgot their names, Ashley and Elena. Yes, Ashley and Elena, the ladies of Morbid, were covering BetterHelp. I remember seeing actual, like, psychologists, psychiatrist people on these channels saying, hey, use this deeply predatorial app that'll basically steal your data, dox you, blackmail you, but it'll also, like, talk nice to you a couple times a month. And for the record, I'm not saying that any of these people were like Mr. Burns wringing their fingers and going, yes, yes. No, they just, hey, I'll sponsor you if you say my bullshit, and I'll pay you money for it. Well, okay, I do like money, and my channel does need that to go. Y'all, I am so scared that ground news is going to end up being like some kind of right-wing fucking thing. I hope it's not. Right now, I'm pretty sure it's not. But, I mean, I was also pretty sure that Nickelodeon was a fun place for kids. And I was pretty sure that J.K. Rowling was a good writer and deeply cared about her people and fans. I genuinely thought that our country was a good country that spread freedom around the world. I mean, who knows what I'll know tomorrow? But what I know for sure is that, yeah, lying. People like to lie. And some people just do that shit for fun, it seems. But yeah, y'all. But if Zoe shows up and we can get our little thing going, I'm hoping to get something going with her. Because nobody be mean to Zoe or judge her. By that I mean that's me. By that I mean the forget-me-not creator I'm going to be working with soon. I hope I don't shatter my glass. But nobody be mean to her, but she is one of these that uses AI and thinks that she's doing art. And I keep begging her to hone her skill, because again, y'all, it's not me being mean. Y'all are better than this. I know you are. My skills are not that good. They're just, I've been practicing for a few years. Your skills are rusty. You'll get better. Just practice. It's like writing. If I sat down right now and tried to write a script or a story, that used to be the majority of what I did in high school, was write little short stories. Hell, I sold, and I kid you not, y'all, I sold I don't know if y'all know what yaoi is. I sold a poem, a around 15-page poem, because it was written in a stanza to where, like, sometimes the characters wouldn't, the narrator never spoke in rhyme, so it was like, the crosses lay on the field, the vampire crucified to them. But then as soon as the characters came out, they would be speaking in rhyme. A fellow high school student paid me about $40 to do that. I wrote a 15-page book that I did not publish, that hopefully she did. It was just, y'all, it was fan fiction, but it wasn't like, it was just my weird little fever dream of Twilight, Anne Rice, and Gakuto's Moonchild, as well as a few other Japanese-style movies. And it literally netted me $40. It was like, for the capitalists out there, there used to be money just to pluck up out of the sky. And then we let the capitalists monopolize it all. Because, y'all, I'm not anti-money. We need something like a monetary value item in order to demarcate value and work with each other. Because there are things that I don't like, there are things that you don't like, there are things that we don't like. But we need to be able to exchange these things for things we do like. I fucking forgot what I was in the middle of doing. Penny's already been out once today, he's just being dramatic. But it's been about an hour and 9 minutes. I think I'm about to take my boys out for a walk, and maybe my girls, my guys, and maybe my gals. I do a terrible Trump. And after that, we will probably be back to do an Assassin's Creed. I just need to take my dogs out, get them breakfast, and possibly get a quick bite to eat myself. This has been the Wind Up, And we're also gonna do some laundry, so I might try to go live while I do my laundry. I just need to make sure, you know, hallway and bathroom and hanging clothes area is clean enough to warrant y'all seeing it. Because y'all, I don't get me wrong, I get it. I'm not trying to appear to be posh and have it all together when I don't have it all together. But to be clear, I just don't want to be nasty. If that makes sense. I don't want y'all to look at something in the background and be like, oh my god, he lives like that? He lets his loved ones live like that? I don't want to be that way. Why did that thing run at me? Why does this game want to be so mean and scary? I just want to live a peaceful life. Ruh-roh. Alrighty, I feel like that's going to make it nice and bright in here. Okay, y'all. Hour 10-minute mark. I know no one's going to watch past this. So, we're going to go ahead and go for now. Before we do, this is about as far as we've gotten so far. We're going to be building down because this is going to be a grand underground tower area. And we're going to build on top as we basically work around underneath. We also really got to work on planting some crops down here. That'll be for later. Possibly tomorrow or later tonight. For now, I gotta do my rounds and grab a quick breakfast and get some laundry sorted to get started. I also need to get David's key fob to get into the trunk of the car to see if we have any OxyClean out there. Because I got laundry detergent and I've got like ways to sanitize the laundry, but I don't have... I like that chemical OxyClean smell when I'm all said and done. Either way, y'all be good. I'll catch you later. Remember, y'all, it's up to y'all. It's up to us. It's up to we. Be good. Be safe. Don't get busted. Love y'all. And to steal a quote from my favorite guy, I don't do it often, but the golden rule will always be yeehaw and fuck the law. I love y'all. See you later. Please don't sue me, bud. I love your content.